Good morning, Sale. How's your stress level? Glass of water. Slow start this morning. We'll understand a little later. Hello, love. So, I'm not cooking in quarantine, and as soon as a few other people get here today, I'll explain why, and I think you'll appreciate it. At some point earlier, I had music on, and I don't know what happened. It was Chopin, who I learned it was his birthday today, April 15th. So, I'm glad everything is fine. That's wonderful. Is it a sunny day at the shore? I hope so. It seems like it's nice here. It's just chilly. So I'm going to make a cocktail this morning because why not? A little secret. Today is my 10th anniversary. So if it weren't for quarantine, I would be doing very, 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 very different things than I'm doing right now. Well, first of all, I wouldn't be getting the coffee filter out. So I am taking the day off because, again, I would be doing something very different. Hello, Brian. How are you? So I'm going to make a nice, healthy ginger cocktail because the one thing I always try to keep here is plenty of citrus and plenty of ginger. And so, hello, Dawn. Hello, Jay. So today is not cooking in quarantine. Hello, Sarah. Because, as I just was saying, today is the day 10 years ago this afternoon I met Hugo. So if it weren't for this, I would be doing very different things today. So I'm not going to cook because if this were a regular day, everything would be done for me. So no cooking in quarantine today, but drinking all day long, I think. And so when I started thinking about that, I thought, how can I make it not just about this, but about something a little bit more? And so if you'll notice, I'm wearing my best B. Arthur outfit today. 2 layers, billowy dress. I do not have billowy trousers on under it. Hello, Genia, how are you? But at some point I started thinking about the fact that I literally am living my dream. There's a story in my family that when I was 4 or 5 years old, somebody asked me, said, Ellisa, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I said, I want to be just like Anne Marie. I want to live in New York City. I want to have an apartment, a job, a boyfriend, and not a husband. Well, that's exactly what I have. Well, like marginally a job, because who actually has a job these days? Only a lucky few or an unlucky few, however you look at it. Hello, Lisa. So my B. Arthur. So anyway, I started thinking about the fact that without some very specific things in the course of my life and in the course of my family, I'm not possible. And a lot of my friends aren't possible. My great-grandfather, Tom Rynearson, who was born in 1864, sent all of his daughters to college. Without Tom Rynearson, there might not have been the many generations of feminists in my family who continued to believe that women were just as smart as, just as good as men, and in no way in service to men. And so there was never any moment where there was a question in my family whether I would go to college or not. It was just a matter of where. So, and what I might study. So without Granddaddy Rynearson, great-granddaddy Rynearson, I'm not possible. Without me seeing Anne Marie being the character, that girl that Marlo Thomas played, if I hadn't seen her, well, I didn't see any other women like that around where I lived, except for Linda Milholland, who was the surgeon at our little hospital. She was about the only woman that I saw that fell outside of the general female work roles. So without Anne Marie, I wouldn't have known that moving to New York and living on your own was a possibility. And so I thank her for that. And then at the same time, I think about the wonderful role that Marlo Thomas went on to play on Friends as Rachel Green's mom, where she said, I went from my father's house to the sorority house to my husband's house. And so, in honor of all the girls who don't have to do that, who don't see that as their only opportunity, I'd like to raise a glass, I'm sorry there's no booze in it, to all the great men, because it did take great men to be able to, as Abigail Adams had to remind her husband, remember the ladies. So today is my Thank a Feminist Day. Because, why today? Yes, because I'm going to sit down and do nothing. It's supposed to be my anniversary, and I'm not off doing whatever we would have done. But it also is the day on which Mrs. America drops. And I was probably, now of course, by the time I was 4 or 5, I was very aware that being a single girl and living in New York was a possibility for me. And so by the time I was 6 or 7 and Phyllis Schlafly came onto the scene, I understood well enough to know that she was selling a bucket of lies. And she was absolutely the very first public figure I ever hated in my life. And she was a public figure before I was in 2nd grade. So guys, thank a feminist today. Thank your mama. Thank your daddy if they sent you to college. Thank the Lord if you got out of your tiny little town. Thank the Lord if you've got a good husband who stands up for you and helps you and has got your back every day. So if you get to express your creativity, if you are living your truth, thank a feminist. If you have a credit card in your own name, thank a feminist. If you own your own home, thank a feminist. There's so much. If it weren't for, remember, I was aware of Phyllis Schlafly before a woman could have a credit card in her own name without her daddy's signature. Thank a feminist. So if you see back here in the background, I said, if you're pissed, you're taking this personally, stop. This is about me. Hashtag thank a feminist. And it's NC-17. I am not attacking anybody who made different choices. I never had that overwhelming, that innate knowledge that I needed or wanted to be a mother. That to me was something that came as a part of the kind of partnership that you might find with a person that wants those same things. So if you're a mother, I champion that. If you stayed at home, I champion that. If you married your childhood sweetheart, my brother and sister-in-law are childhood sweethearts. I'm not sure either one of them ever had a date with another person. So I champion that. My parents were childhood sweethearts. I love that. Sarah and Brian are on here, and they were childhood sweethearts. I champion that. But I just want you all to remember that for all of you who made different choices, you got to thank a feminist, or you wouldn't have had that choice. So I think that is a really great place to end the day. I hope everybody is staying safe. I hope that you guys have got a great day planned, that you're strong in your mind and happy in your heart. If the sun is shining where you are, get out and have a great day. Hello, Mr. Jeffries. Hello, everybody else who's joined us today. So, like I said, it's my anniversary. I am not going to have an anniversary party, so I'm going to sit here and drink until I see what Big Daddy sends us for dinner while we have our Zoom romantic dinner tonight. Remember, I would just say, think about somebody that you know, a woman that you know, that you admire, who paved the way. Here we are in Cooking in Quarantine, and in Cooking in Quarantine, I, of course, have to thank Julia Child. She changed the perception of how women cooks are looked at. Of course, you got to thank all the ladies who marched. But, y'all, have a great day. Before I lose my steam, before I start reading all these things, there you go. A grandmother who graduated from the University of Kentucky in 1940. Bravo. I have an auntie who graduated from Center College when it was still in what's now the Fox Funeral Home in Stamford, Kentucky. So that's a good one. So I did not flash everybody, dude, I promise. All right, guys. So B. Arthur, who was a Marine, and Julia Child, who worked for the Secret Service during World War II. extraordinary women, too, that I'd like to take a nod to. Thank a feminist. Thank you all. We're not cooking in quarantine. We're taking the day off. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.